So what is a tip that you have if a couple is looking to be published, they want to be considered to be published in a magazine? Is there anything we haven't mentioned yet that you want to like say, oh, and by the way, like what about, for example, something you tell people when it comes to engagement shoots?
Sure,
right?
I always tell people, you know, if you're having your wedding in one location, don't be afraid to look at another location for an engagement shoot. The fun part is that it becomes its own special shoot that allows you to have photos on your wall that are different than your wedding day or a different location that you normally are. It's combining a little bit of travel with a really beautiful session.
When you say don't be afraid of a different location, you mean like, for example, we have a couple, Kit and Vinny, that are wonderful. They're getting married in Florence in June. You did their their engagement session in
Chicago.
Right? And you had they had like a specific dress code aesthetic they wanted to accomplish.
Yes.
Very different than the wedding.
Completely.
Right? And that's something you talk about, right?
Yes, and I did, like for instance, I did an engagement session for a wonderful couple that I have from Great Britain who are getting married in Puglia. I did their engagement session on the Amalfi Coast.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were in Capri.
Oh, in Capri.
We were in Capri.
In Capri.
I know that photo is sick. I love that one. The one you put on Instagram of when he's helping her with her shoe.
He's
Oh,
literally
I love that
helping
photo.
her. It's very Fellini. When you're investing so much into bringing so many people that you love and want to be witness to what's happening, the investment for film and photo are that much more important, because it's not just photographing a wedding, it's also photographing almost a vacation for all the people that are there. And that's something that I always like to incorporate, because it's not just about that. Everybody is intentionally at this event because they've flown across the ocean or gone to Yuma, Arizona, wherever it may be. And that makes it that much more important to have a well-rounded gallery of images. And I think professionals that do destination weddings as their full-time profession really are that much more of an added advantage to be able to not only mitigate any sort of problems and turn it into an opportunity, but also to really tell the story, not just of a couple, but also about everybody that is there.
Well, I think too, when you have a distinct style, the thing that makes it great for couples is they can look at that style, which is, you know, evident via social media, evident on website, evident in conversation, right? Probably in the proposal, of course, because everything you do is visual. They can say, like, this style resonates, I'm interested in it, I'd like to learn more. Or, you know what, this style doesn't resonate, and I'm going to move on to somebody else. Right?
You either vibe or you don't.
Oh, and speaking of, what does it actually mean to get your wedding published? What does it mean to have your wedding featured?
When a publisher looks at your wedding and an editor looks at your wedding, they're not necessarily looking for the highly emotional, intimate moments. They're looking at the decor. They're looking at
a combination.
The style. They're looking for some hero shots, and they're looking really to tell.
But they don't know what that means. You're talking. What is a hero shot?
A hero shot is like the bomb.com shot.
It's a technical term.
Yeah.
That key image that people go, wow.
Yes.
Yes.
The email
The
that
wow
I have
moment.
is-
That's the hero shot. Okay. And it needs to be a combination of all the things. So like they want to see what you have going on your table. They want to see what shoes did you wear. Was there a gift you gave each other that was really meaningful? Did you have a meaningful connection with a parent coming down the aisle, delivering a toast? So it's a combination of, you know, all the pieces, like a mosaic, all the pieces that make up the overall day, and then tell the story. And so that's basically what it's like to submit a wedding.
So a couple of things that I think about when planning a destination wedding and setting yourself up for really success is, one, transportation. I cannot emphasize how much transportation, especially European transportation, can be a challenging logistic. For instance, if you have 100 people and your wedding is up in the hills, you know, somewhere in a small little town, you're going to need, you're going to need either very small, short buses, or, you know,
whatever.
A helicopter.
It doesn't matter. Take them there. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're planning a wedding domestically and you're in the U.S., please do not ever say, well, can we just Uber from the hotel to the ceremony? No. You cannot.
It's not a and actually sometimes Uber drivers do not allow 7 people to pile in a car with a dress on. They don't want that liability.
And then you're at the mercy of multiple cars. Whatever's happening in the place you're planning. Is there a demonstration? Is there a sporting event? Is there a parade? Is there a concert? In Chicago, you get Lollapalooza, any political whatever that might be happening, Summerfest, Taste of Chicago, a myriad of things that can interrupt or cause a surge. So pricing is, people are like, well, I don't want to spend on transportation. Spend on transportation. Spend on your vendors. Invest in your vendors, because your return on investment is the quality of the product you're getting. So I just want to say that. Yes. But you're absolutely right. In destination weddings, transportation is key. All right, what else you got for like a successful planning journey?
I love set up the wedding where it's not just a wedding. You have some sort of welcome or a farewell involved as well. I think that's something that makes it a whole rounded experience. And I think that it also gives more opportunities to capture images that aren't necessarily on the most formal part of the wedding week or weekend. It gives people that come to the wedding a little bit of that extra gift to take with them.
So what I'm hearing is you're an advocate for multi-day weddings celebrating.
1,000%.
And also making sure that when you think along those lines that you include photography for all of the various events
1,000%.
And video for all of the various events, because it isn't just about the one day, it's about capturing all of the emotions throughout.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Consider that, but yes, generally.
More or less. Yeah. And for you, having status, talk about how that has benefited clients, but also how it eases you, like, because we are on the road a lot, you and I, right? And what does that provide for us? How does that like ease the process?
The first thing is I think it's important to mention that as wedding professionals, when we do travel, it's really, really nice to be able to book our own travel. Mm-hmm. We're not going to necessarily buy the apartment on Etihad or something like that, Well,
that's but that's in my contract,
right?
Like it's in my contract that like we book our own travel, we submit for reimbursement. Everything we do has pre-approval.
Yes, and it's
So vendors, make sure you have that. If you're doing destination weddings and you don't have your travel expenses as something clearly listed out, make sure that you do that.
But
it's like a pro bonus tip. Go ahead.
So one of the biggest things is the savings that actually comes from allowing us to book our own travel.
Got it.
And that is really evident when it comes to bags. And listen, bag fees are bag fees. I'm sorry to all of you out there on Southwest Airlines now. Welcome to the rest of the welcome to the party. But when it comes to just for Collin Pierson Photography and CPP Associates, it can actually be hundreds of dollars round trip. So if it's myself and an associate traveling round trip, we'll have a bag that's probably any between 40 and 60 pounds each, plus an equipment bag that's 40 to 60 pounds, plus a carry-on. Mm-hmm. So that's 4 bags traveling both ways. Mm-hmm. That's 8 bag fees, and that can be $500-$600.
And you're saying that's absorbed by the client because it's travel.
That would have to be, but because of status, that's all free.
Right.
And so that's why allowing us to book our own travel is something we prefer to do.
Okay. So we've talked about the importance of good vendors and having a good team around you. That is universal regardless of where you plan your wedding. We've talked a lot about the right fit, investing in the right vendors, all of that. The thing I will say again, this is a hill I will voluntarily die on every time. The trip before the trip. So when you're planning a destination wedding, don't just like spin a map, put your finger and be like, we're gonna go here, right? And then put no work in. You have to go, and you should go with your planner, which means you should be covering the expenses of that trip, okay? So you have to allow for that in your budget, so that you're going and you're looking at these locations, this hotel. You wanna know what you're paying for. So to just have no idea is not going to really give you what you're looking to get out of this experience. So for me, there's always the trip before the trip. And please, please, please bring your planner, have your planner there. Because if you don't, there's gonna be things you forget to ask. Your job is not to be a professional person getting married. You're not a professional groom. You're not a professional bride. We are professional wedding planners, wedding photographers, whatever, wedding video filmmakers, whatever the case may be. It is our job to know what to ask. It is our job to make sure you're getting the best return on your investment by knowing what to ask and making sure we do all of that. So that's a big piece for me.
Absolutely.